How you
Hi,
doing?
good, yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, yeah.
Awesome. I got to watch The Cellar, and it was really good. I liked the whole concept of the film, and I liked the performances, especially from Elisha, Cuthbert, and the cast. They were really great in this.
Great, thank you.
So, how did this film come about?
The film came about, it was based on it's an adaptation of a short film that I made in 2004. That's how long ago it was. It was an incredibly successful short for us, for my company. It, unexpectedly so, it won Best Short at the Sitges Fantastic Film Festival, which is a hardcore horror audience, and plus the Ravenna Fantastic Film Festival, plus Lund, plus maybe not Lund, but a lot of the genre festivals. Really, it did a great on the circuit. But it also won Best Short at the New York International Children's Film Festival. So, when you think about that, the broad spectrum of audience it was hitting, we knew there was something special about the short film. And then over the years, I just noticed, it was on different platforms. Atom Films was a short film platform. Someone else had it up on YouTube. Someone else put it up. We never bothered taking it down. It's gone now, actually, whoever had it up. But I noticed a lot of comments going, I wonder what happens next. And people
Uh,
discussing with each other what would happen next. And that just sparked my own interest. And so over the years I've tried many different versions of a feature, and I've gone through a lot of different sort of ideas until I finally hit upon what you see now.
that's awesome. What was it like working with the cast? I mean, you had Owen and Elisha, Abby, and Dylan. Dylan, I thought, did an amazing job because I felt like he was an important part of the piece because
Yeah,
he was the little brother gone missing. But it's like he had that there was something about him is Dylan in the role that he just really brought it in terms of the scares and all. What was it like working with them?
well, Owen I've worked with for a long time. I've worked with Owen since my first feature in 2008, 2009. And at the time he was starting out, and he's obviously gone on to do bigger things. So it was brilliant to work with him again in a lead role. And and it was very easy. His agent is Elisha's agent. So very quickly we had Elisha on. Obviously the two kids are brilliant, but casting them was difficult during COVID because it wasn't in person.
Yeah.
So, but obviously they're very talented, so it shines through. Even on a Zoom, it shines through. And then, how was it working with them? Well, it was just so easy. They're so nice, they're so supportive, and so easy to work with. That, and I'm not just saying that like how directors say it.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't have done it without them. It was so low budget. I was under so much time pressure, and even sort of the end of the film, I was in half hour overtime. It was the last night in the house. We were going to be striking the house the next, I couldn't go back.
Right.
And I just had so many shots to do that I couldn't do a second take of some of the shots. I literally would have to shoot it and go, right, move on. And the cast, so two things. They didn't freak out. They were like, they're going, we're with you. They rallied around and were going, don't worry. And they were really calm. They nailed it. So that's their experience as well. So though instead, it would be terrible if they got all worried and panicked.
Yeah.
And but they didn't. They nailed it. They rose to the challenge. And so,
They
oh yeah, I'm so grateful to them
they
both.
became your
Or
they
all.
became your they became your army. You were the general, and they were your soldiers, and bam, they went right in.
They went, and yeah, and they definitely helped me out. I'll tell you that.
What I also liked was the fact that you had all these little stories mixed in with the cellar itself. I felt like it was Pandora's box, like a literal Pandora's box with everything that was mentioned in there, from the alchemists to like so much. And I just felt like it was one giant Pandora's box, and
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah. I mean, look, a lot of it is hokum, is what I call it, like nonsense. It's sort of fun. It's there for a fun detective thing, but in a way, it was sort of liberating to to say, bring it somewhere without too many spoilers, but to bring it somewhere and say, you know what, I'm going to take it there, and I'm going to take it there, and I'm going to go there, and I'm just going to go the whole hog.
Just keep
So
going.
I have to say it was quite liberating to do that.
So, how long was shooting? And of course, you mentioned the time and everything. Was there any other challenges that you had to face during production?
Shooting was 5 weeks. I think we took, so it was 25 days. We had one extra day where we did some drone work and some screen work on computers. It was incredibly difficult. You know, it's interesting. All the films are very different, but if you would look at a shot list or even one of our call sheets or schedule for, you know, the day, it was so different to say my last film, Pilgrimage, where you would see the call sheet would just go scene 12. That was it for the day. And I'd go along with my shot list for the, this would have scene 1, scene 3, scene 5, scene 2. And it would, like, well, some days might have had 20, and they were small little scenes, and it was very difficult shooting in the house. And as well, because, you know, it wasn't that you could just move from room to room. We were lighting heavily. We wanted it to look as polished as we could make it. We did, we even though we're low budget, we wanted it to look as close to a commercial Hollywood film, or even a Blumhouse, you know, which isn't as big budget as some of them, but we wanted it to sort of stand up. So that meant, you know, we've got to put big lights up on cherry pickers and put them in the windows, and we couldn't just move into a room and shoot. There was a lot of lighting and setup. So yeah, it was time pressure. I mean, that's mainly it, time pressure. I mean, it's always time pressure. You know, any director will tell you that's what you're working with, and unless you've got all the money in the world, that's what you're up against, always, time.
Yeah, but let's face it, when you have all the money in the world, you could still come out with films that are, you know, something that's not great. I feel like low budget films are more, they're like the better ones because they make more. I feel like it's more quality and it's more original than what we deal with.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's both. I think some of the bigger budgets are great and some of the lower budgets aren't. I mean, look, it's I'd say it's an easier experience on those bigger budget films.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And I could just imagine. So finally, what's next for you after The Cellar that you can talk about?
You know, my other films have all been very sort of adult orientated, like very demented films. So I'm going to go back there. I've got a folk horror, revisionist folk horror dealing with St. Patrick, trying to convert a sect of druids.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, I would so be into that for sure. I would definitely.
Yeah, and it's the most demented film I've ever even attempted. Like there's a lot of horror, a lot of it's very violent. It's got great twists. It's mind bending. It's got everything.
Oh, I'm definitely in. As soon as that comes out, I'm going to be the first to see it for sure.
Good stuff.
So The Cellar's coming out on April 15th, and those who loved your short film would definitely want to see this to see what does happen next. And it has some great performances from the cast. They're your soldiers, and they did a great job. And I hope that everyone does get to see The Cellar. And Brendan, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the movie.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
See you.
All right, bye-bye.